Hey everybody, it's Eric here again, and today I want to talk about real estate tax liens. I think I've talked about this again before, but the auction here is kind of wrapping up, and I actually want to show people how to do it and how it works. So real quick, please like, share, subscribe if this is helpful. My channel here is all about everything that's technology related, startup related, and how that interacts with real estate and just overall investing. And I know it sounds like a really wild, kind of layout here, but they all tie together. And let's dig into the tax lien stuff, because if you have a little extra cash from your stimulus money, your stimmy money laying around, tax liens are a good way to make interest on the money if you don't know what to do with the money right now. So I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to my screen, and there's this place called RealAuction.com, and they hold most of the tax lien options, at least a good chunk of them, throughout the United States. And so you don't have to be in the county that you're buying from. And they've got foreclosures on here. I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff. And so this is their website. They've got, I'm going to show you some of the client sites they have here for tax liens. Here we go. So Arizona, and they've got all the counties. You've got Colorado counties. You've got Florida. There's Illinois on here, Maryland, Nebraska, New Jersey. Wow, New Jersey's got a lot of counties. Okay, hold on. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. And still scrolling. And New York. And that's the start. And there's a lot here. And so they make it simple and easy to do. And so a couple of quick warnings before we go through the details on this. And the first warning is your money's going to be tied up until the tax lien is paid. The second warning is every county and every state, for the most part, has different rules. You could be fortunate enough after 2 years, or maybe sooner, in Arizona it's 3 years, to end up foreclosing on the property and getting the property for what the tax lien goes for. But that's really rare, but it happens. It's not happened for me, but most people pay their property taxes. They're just paying them late. The key here is interest rates. You get to bid on these properties. I'm going to go ahead and switch screens and jump over to our state. And so here is the interface for the county that we're at. And again, you do not have to live in a state or county where you're bidding on these. You just have to transfer money in. And it gives you a search, and you can actually look for what you're looking for here. So I'm just going to give you a couple ideas of things I look for. I mean, you've got some vacant land pieces here. I'm not a huge fan of vacant land, but it helps. I mean, it's definitely something that you can invest in, but it's often forgotten about because it's vacant land. Nobody lives there. Somebody forgets to pay the tax bill, and it's on the tax lien list. Duplexes, condos. I'm just going to select a couple of these single family homes, office buildings. I'm just going to do a search for a couple of these, right? So I selected what I'm looking for. Try to stay away from mobile homes, at least I do, because the property that it's on, the mobile home is not an asset, but it's a piece of property. So you could foreclose on the land and still have to deal with getting rid of that piece of property, or the owners of it may still own it. It's just more trouble. So all right, so here we go. We've got a list of stuff. So you can see here you've got the parcel IDs, how much they owe, and what tax year that is, and also what's going on with it. So you can see unavailable. Unavailable generally means that the taxes were paid on this property before the auction closed. I'm going to click on this one here, and you can see I can open it up and go over here, and I can find out everything about this particular property. Of course, this one's not going to work. Let me find another one here. And so I can find everything out about this piece of property. You can see here there's nothing built on it. It shows me the parcel level, how much the taxes are, who the owners are. All of that information is here, including, when it was last sold, who owns it, what its value is, what the taxes are. Basically, all the information to know that, hey, you're not buying a right-of-way or a piece of junk, corner piece that nobody's ever going to pay the taxes on. All the information that you're looking for is here. And then once you find a property, it's as easy as, well, the auction may have closed and it may not be letting me in here. Once you select it, you bid on it. So there's normally another column here. I'm not quite sure why mine's not showing, but there's another column here, and you have a percentage that you click on, right? And so you then say, okay, up to, like Arizona's 15%. Some states are 32%. And let me re-explain this if you didn't see in my first video. Basically, you put in a percentage and you click the bid button. And you're bidding against everybody else for the lowest percentage rate. Now, since the money's tied up for at least, well, it could be a year, it could be 3 years, you want a decent interest rate. You don't want to be doing this for 3, 4, 5%, which you can get elsewhere. You want to get 10, 15% interest on these liens because the money is stuck until they're paid. So you're bidding against me, you're bidding against everybody else in this process. So you're picking out properties and saying, I want this one for 10%. And if somebody comes in and says, I will do it for 9%, well, they're going to win it. The state, the county, the auction site is making sure that they're doing the best for the owner of the property. So they're getting them the lowest interest rate. As soon as this auction closes, which is about to happen here, your bids go in, they pull the money out of your account, and they handle all the collections, the counties and things like that. They keep note that you're holding the lien on the taxes. You cannot sell this property. Not you, but the owner cannot sell this property or transfer the deed without paying the tax lien. So you're gonna get your money. That's the cool thing about this whole thing. In other avenues, you may not. You are like the first lien holder. You get your money before the mortgager gets your money. You get their money before the owners get the money. Like the tax liens are almost the highest, if not the highest amount of money up there. So that's what's cool about this. So again, warnings is if you win an auction, which these generally happen once a year, they will withdraw the money from your account. You have to put in 10% of what you plan to bid on. They will pull it out of here, and then they will pay the liens. And as the owners of the properties pay off the tax debt, which happens from time to time, the money will trickle in via check or through this interface and things like that, and you can see them being paid. And then you get to do it all over again next year. The only thing that I don't like about this whole process is it is time consuming. You have to look at all the properties and make sure you're not getting junk and make sure that there's no other lien holders also from previous years, because then you're going to be fighting over them if it does go to foreclosure. This is cool, and this is probably the safest, highest interest rate bet you can do. So I love it. But again, that window is about to close. So take a look at this site, look up your county, things like that. This is that time of year. These are going to start to close in the next week or two. Some of them go for another 3 or 4 weeks. But if you're wanting to do an investment and you're nervous and you're just letting that money sit in your bank account and you don't need access to it right now, do tax liens. It's smart, it's easy, and it is so safe. It's a pretty exciting way to go. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for kind of seeing how it works here. I'm sorry I couldn't show the actual bidding process. Apparently they've already closed my auction area that I was in, but it is that simple. Don't buy junk. Don't buy stuff that people have already bid on, or that, not bid on, but won last year and things like that. Make sure that there's not a bunch of lien holders and a second mortgage and all this other stuff. It just makes it cleaner. But if you have to, those things are okay too. This is still safer than the stock market. This is good interest rate. I mean, most people I know that are doing this are getting between 8 and 13%. This is kind of one of the world's best kept secret. I met a politician a few years ago, and he lost, and I was like, what are you going to do for the next 2 years until you run again? And he won again. And he's like, I'm just going to bid on tax liens and sit back and grow my money and run again in 2 years. And that's what he did. And I didn't quite understand what he was talking about at the time. And this is like a hidden gem out there. And I'm shocked that more people aren't doing this. So anyway, look this up. Again, there's a few small drawbacks, but most of these things are really positive. Thank you for watching today. If this was valuable, I got a bunch more stuff like this coming out. Being smart, being safe, using technology and things like that at your will. I mean, this was probably so hard 15 years ago before the internet, but it's so easy now. You can do it 24 hours a day. You can do it in the middle of the night if you don't have the time. Easy way to invest and make money and get a return. Thank you. Please subscribe. Please like. Please forward, share, whatever. If you know anybody that's looking to do the tax lien stuff, this is not something I do professionally. I'd love to chat about it in the comments, and I'm not an advisor. I'm just a dude on YouTube, but hey, this is a great way to go if you're really nervous and you've never done investing before. Thank you, and have a good day.